Well, hello, everybody. And guess what? This means I
I
love
love
you.
you.
Yes. So we'll open up our United Earth Angels series, episode 1, with a big I love you. So I'm Toby Staples,
And I'm Andi Ford.
and we're here to present our first episode of United Earth Angel series with you all. And we've decided to talk about the relationship with self today. So, Andy, do you want to open up this episode?
Well, I can.
Okay, perfect.
We would like to invite everybody to um, think deeply about how you feel about yourself. And we're here to help you change the way you think about yourself. Because if you don't feel good about the way you think about yourself, then something needs to change. And we're here to help.
Big time. And we can hear Oreo in the back trying to get in on the live. I love it.
Yeah.
Oreo, you're a part of our episode 1. I love it.
She's in her crate and she's mad.
Well, you can hear her. She's like, oh, let me out. Yeah, you know what, guys? Your relationship with yourself primarily affects every relationship in your life, whether it's interpersonal, whether it's friendships, whether it's business partners, whether it's interactions with your marketing, with your selling, with your anything. Your relationship with yourself is really key.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what are some things that we can tell them about how they can be kinder in the relationship with themselves?
Well, a lot of the times it it's a mindset. If you allow things to bother you and allow things to upset you, they're going to. Also, I found that I know that sweets and all that stuff tastes delicious, and all the junk food tastes good, but it doesn't make me physically feel good. So, oh,
Andy, I'm smiling because Oreo is just tripping.
you stop that. You stop that right now, little girl. You're in trouble. Yeah, lay down. I'll let you out later. She's so rotten. Oh my goodness. And she's going to do it again.
Oh yeah, she's gonna keep going as long as she hears mommy talking out here. She's
Yeah,
like, I want your attention, not them.
that's what it is. Exactly. But
Well, I'll
yeah,
tell
it
you,
starts from inside.
yes. And a couple of key things would be your self-talk.
Yes, definitely. You have to have positive self talk if you want to feel good about yourself. Because
Yeah,
if you're
because
looking in the mirror saying, ew, oh, I see that flaw about me, ew, no, what you need to do, if you want to change something, that's up to you. But if you want to truly love yourself, you need to say, I love myself. I love who I am. And this is who I want to be. I have to do something about that.
big time. I remember there was a time where I didn't have a very healthy relationship with myself. I just didn't feel good in my skin at all until I found myself.
Yeah.
The negative self-talk, and then it produced negative talk outside, and the relationship that I had with myself really affected the relationship that I had with others.
Yeah. It will. If you
Big time.
can't
And then
love
we
yourself,
wonder,
you can't love anybody.
yeah, that's right. And then we wonder why we can't interact properly or have healthy relationships outside of us. Well, it stems from not having a healthy relationship with yourself.
Yeah, it does.
She
She's
She's taking over the episode tonight. That's okay. Sorry, guys. You're just going to have to hear the dog. We've been hearing it the whole time. You're going to have to hear it. She's being reprimanded.
Yeah.
But, guys, look, there's a couple of things that you can do to change the relationship with yourself. And primarily, you must actually take a look at the relationship that you're having with yourself. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to take a look at the things that you think, the things that you say, the things that you do to yourself primarily.
Yeah. And it helps to have a notebook and a pen. Make a list. Make a list of things that maybe you don't like about yourself, or things that you could look at and think, well, this might be bad, but I can switch it and improve it. And do that every day. You can just do one thing a day, one thing a week. Just love yourself enough to change your thinking. One thing a week. Instead of saying, ugh, I'm fat. No, you say, well, I know what I like. I know what I don't like. If I don't like that I have extra weight, then I need to do something about it. But if I don't mind it and it's just everybody else getting into my head, I need to block everybody else out of my head and love myself for who I am and what I look like. If I am happy when nobody else is around saying bad things to me, then I must love myself for me and not let anybody else get into my head. That's all it is to it. It's for you. It's not for anybody else. It's how you feel about yourself. You have to be comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah. And if you want to feel better, you have to take a look at the things that you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
Because really not feeling well stems from what you are telling yourself.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter what we're living outside of us. It's the thoughts that we're having about it that affect us the most. So if you're having negative thoughts, you're going to have negative reactions and effects in your body, no matter what it is. And if you're assuming everything to be good or bad in your life, you're not finding the learning.
No.
So I encourage you not to be so hard on yourselves, primarily, but have the courage to take a look at how you speak to yourself. Because self-talk, you talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody in the world.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. And if you are not consciously creating your thoughts that you want to have, what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you have this thought that jumps up like a jack in the box. You do have the power to look at that and not allow it to become a way of speaking or a way of life, because it starts with an idea, which leads to a thought, which leads to a word, which leads to speech, which leads to a way of communicating like that. And then it produces actions in your life, interactions, affects your relationships. It all starts with the primary idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you really got to look at that. And you know what? In 21 days, should you decide to take a commitment to feeling better with the relationship with yourself, there are a couple of key things that you can do to rewrite your thinking patterns. But primarily, you got to look at them and see what it is that you need to change. Because if you don't think that you have anything to change within the relationship with self, well, then you will not be able to. You have to see it, accept it, identify it, and take inspired actions to change it in order for your brain to even suggest it. So accept it as a suggestion.
Yep.
But factually, in 21 days, you can rewrite your brain and rewrite how you think.
As
I
long
can
as
show
you're
you how to do
consistent.
that.
As long as you're consistent.
Yeah, it's an everyday process, and it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But I'll tell you, it does. You will feel the effects of it immediately, especially if you've been in a pattern of not having the best relationship with yourself. Factually.
Yep.
factually. First thing you guys can do is you can actually gratitude journal. Start writing down that you're grateful every morning. 5 things you're grateful for and make them different every day. And then after a week of doing it, you've practiced being grateful for a week and you'll feel the effects of that.
Yep.
And your brain will start to think differently.
You'd be
Yeah.
amazed. You'd be amazed how positive or negative your speech about yourself can affect your mental health, physical health, the way you treat others, the way you perceive others. I look in the mirror every day and say something positive, at least one thing positive.
That's amazing because I do the same. I don't like mirrors only because of energies and things, but when I do go to brush my teeth or in the morning my hygiene routines, well, I'm always telling myself, "You are awesome. You're awesome. Look at you. Like you're healed. You beat death. You know what to do." Like I do that every day. Every
Yeah.
day after I've thanked my body for operating and everything. It heightens my vibe for the day. It solidifies my biofield in this love for myself. It makes everything easy to live during the day.
Yeah. And
And you know what?
sometimes, and sorry, go ahead.
I noticed that when I don't do it, it alters my state because my body is so used to me doing that.
Yeah. Sometimes in the middle of the day, or, right after I pick up the kids from school, or they're just, if anybody has kids, you know what I'm talking about. If you have more than one, let's just put it that way. Because I've got 4 that are in elementary school and 3 are teenagers. Um, I have to go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and say, "You know you've got this. You know you've got this. There, you can handle this. No one else can. No one else will. They're your children. You've got this." You need a
Yeah.
reminder sometimes.
It'd be overwhelming, with all those kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Imagine that must be something, to have 11 lives that you're responsible for, and they're not only, you're responsible for all of their Maslow's hierarchy of needs for each one of them. So
Yes,
that takes a lot.
like
I
the
don't know
4
how you have
adults.
time for everything else.
I don't either. The 4 adult children, even they'll text me, "Mom, I need this," or "Mom, you want to come pick me up? We'll go hang out." Mom. I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Well, one of them doesn't because he's Mr. Independent and lives over in Kentucky, like our way, but
Oh, he was like, okay, I'll stay an hour away so that it's convenient to visit because there's
right.
just too much action.
I don't blame him a bit.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I'm really happy you guys came out with us. It's not going to be an hour long, our episodes. We're going to do them a half an hour so they're targeted for you guys. Until we actually launch our upcoming webinars in the next week and a half. There'll be targeted webinars. And you know what? While I have a chance, I want to reach out to actually CFQR 600 AM, the daily listening. Listen, that's a Montreal's best radio listening, okay? I listened to that station this morning. Talk about heightening my relationship with myself. What I was driving, bopping and singing and dancing while I was driving, okay, guys? Soca Sound from 9 to 11 p.m. every night. But if you want some really good lineups for easy listening during your day, hit that radio station. I had to let you guys know again, and I'll promote it every time we come out here because relationship with self is good, and you got to make sure you're listening to things that are uplifting for you. You don't want to hear stuff that makes you feel bad. You don't want to, you got to watch the things that you also watch.
Yeah.
It does affect your mental state big time.
Oh yeah, it does. Definitely does.
Big time. And if you're, talking about relationships, yeah, we're talking about self. And, Your relationship with yourself really determines your relationship with every single person that you interact with in this world. How you see yourself, what are your qualities, what are your morals, what are your values, what are you running off of? What operating system are you running off of? Are you operating from a generational belief system that's outdated? Are your decisions fear based towards yourself and others? These are things that you need to look at. And you can easily
Definitely.
change them by identifying them big
Call
time.
them out. Call them out, as they say. Call them out. Say it out loud. Write it down. I have to write everything down. That's just, I have to write everything down, or it'll go to the back of my mind that'll bother me later, and I won't know why I'm being bothered. So I have to
Yeah.
write it down.
Yeah. And you know what I do too? I'm an adamant writer. That's the only way I've really been able to really express to myself and to others what I'm truly feeling is by the written word. Guys, I invite you guys to reach out to us. Say you can find us on every platform, but you should reach out to us if you want to feel better. If you're sitting there not feeling good and you don't know how to change your self talk and you don't know how to get out of the loop of not feeling well, we can disrupt that loop and help you
Absolutely.
to feel better. And you can find us. Our links are there. You can find us online. We're always out and about. And at Alpha E Mind Mastery, Empowering Emotional Mastery is where you'll find us also.
Yes.
And you know what, guys, too, if you want to feel better, honestly, there are some things with the relationship with self that can enhance the way you feel. So,
Yes.
like nurturing yourself, self care. So, there's
Exactly.
self talk, but then there's self care.
Yes.
Andy, what do you think about self care? Oh, sorry.
You're fine. What is it, Bubba? I got to do a homework check real quick.
Okay, so then I'll take over here. Self care. You know what? On the topic of self care, I'm going to bring up a friend of mine's website for you all to check out. She's got some healthy, all natural, handcrafted soaps at woodsidesoaps.ca. Check that stuff out because that'll help your relationship with yourself if you need some tender love and care. And we always think that others need to give us tender loving care, but you can actually give yourself that
Four.
tender loving care that you need all the time.
Absolutely.
All the time.
No,
Hey
I've
guys,
been, go ahead.
what were you gonna say?
No, self care for me is not going back to bed like I used to in the morning. I would take the kids to school and I'd come back home and go back to bed and sleep. I don't know why, but I would sleep until 1:30 in the afternoon. I sleep all day.
And what changed?
I felt a change in November.
When the portals started opening.
I felt a shift. I tried to ignore it. That didn't work. So even though I don't get to go to sleep. Well, for a long time, I didn't go to sleep till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'd have to get up at 7, get the kids up, take them to school and stuff. Thank goodness the teenagers wake themselves up at 6 and get on the bus. But every morning. And so I just went to bed and slept all day. Well, I stopped doing that. No, I'm good. I stopped doing that about November. I'd still stay up late because I'm an insomniac sometimes. But I'd get up and I'd stay awake and I'm like, well, I can't go back to sleep. I could not go back to sleep to save my life. And so on the weekends, I'd fall asleep about midnight, 1 o'clock, and wake up about 11. But, I'd make up for my sleep on the weekends. But now I can't. 9 o'clock on Saturdays, I'm awake. I don't go to bed till 12 or 1. And during the week, when I get up, I get fully dressed, take the kids to school, go do my workout, go to the store if I need to, come back, do laundry, scrub the floors if it needs it, uh, go get the kids, make dinner, and if there's doctor's appointments, they're during school day too. Um, then I come, cook dinner. When it's shower night, the kids take showers because I don't have them do it every night because I don't want their skin to dry out. But every other
You
night,
have 11 of them. How would you shower them all in one night and get them all clean? I don't know, unless you were
listen,
showering them in the backyard with the hose.
I control the four little ones' shower nights. The teenagers, they got to fit it in wherever they can fit it in.
I get it. Well, look, I'll be honest with you. If I had 11 kids, I'd probably line them up outside with a fire hose.
Well, the four adults don't live here, thank goodness, because we only got 3 bedrooms. But yeah, they you can have 4 pieces of candy, okay? 4. Tell your sisters too, in case they didn't hear me. Um, but and then after I get them settled in bed by 9:15, I ask my teenagers, "Hey, y'all need a shower? Anybody? I'm going to take one. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That's my self care. Leave me alone in the shower. I work out in the morning, take a shower at night. Just leave me alone."
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I've actually implemented walking to the water now. I'm going to try to do it every morning as
That's
my
awesome.
self-care because it just rejuvenates me in a way that is just I've started doing it and now it's like I long to do it. Like it's like I get up and I put my shoes on and I'm like I want to go to the water. The water's pulling me.
Yeah.
So that's my self-care. So actually this morning knowing that I had to get my brakes done and dropping off my car and everything, I actually got up earlier. I was up at like maybe 6:30. I woke up automatically, but then I was out the door and down by the water this morning and in time, back home in time to go and take the car. Whereas normally I would, if knowing that I had to drop off my car at 9 o'clock, I literally would have not done that for myself.
Right. You'd have laid in bed until last minute. That's what I used to do. Laid in bed until last minute.
Yeah, I would have sat here drinking coffee until probably 8:30 and
Yeah.
then left with my car. So instead when I got up at 6:30, I made sure that I was out of the house, fresh air, walking right away because now that I've started that routine, I feel so much better during my day.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't want just my inner operating system to be of the highest potential. Now I'm working to make sure the body matches that.
Yes, you have to start on the inside. The
Well, yeah.
outside will catch up. The
Yeah, for
outside will
sure.
catch up.
Well,
Oh,
I'm coming back from a heart attack last year, 2 years ago,
oh
and
yeah.
flesh eating and stuff. So, you know what? And my body's been through the ringer, but that doesn't mean that I can't get it back up to par.
Right.
And it's on its way because if I'm walking that amount of distance, like frequently now, as I am, oh, it's okay. It's working just fine.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right, so we've been out here for 23 minutes with you all. I'm going to give Andi the floor 5 minutes to wrap up this episode on relationship with self for some tips and tricks that she'd like you to know in the last 5 minutes of wrap up, and then I will close her up. I thank you guys for coming and watching. I'm glad you were here with us, and I will give Andi the floor.
thank you. Now I will tell you that you need to develop coping skills. By that I mean anytime you feel down about yourself, do something that makes you happy. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to cost anything. I'm an artist. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm a writer. If I feel myself being dragged down by the outside world, which I do, I'll sit, I'll grab a note. I've always got a notebook. Always got a notebook. Right. I'll draw something and color it. I've got colored pencils, markers, colored pens, whatever. Do something to lift your spirits. I even print off coloring sheets too that say certain things like F off and And I'll collar them and I'll be like, look what I collared. just so I can tell the bad feelings to leave me alone. This is me. I don't want you. I'm done with the bad feelings. This is me. So I encourage you all to do something that makes you happy, something that makes you giggle, something that makes you laugh. My kids always find something. If they see me upset, they always try to get me laughing or get me talking. Or I mean, that's the things I've done with them their whole lives. So if they notice it, they'll talk to me, but I don't like to show it. So when they go to bed or while they're at school, I'll get my notebook and my pen. I'll write down stuff. I'll draw. I'll make up a song and sing it out loud, just a silly song, Just do something that makes you happy. Do something to bring your spirits up. Your favorite songs on YouTube, look them up. Dance to them. Nobody's watching. Dance. Who cares? Sing at the top of your voice, even if you can't sing. Who cares? It make you feel better. Promise.
Well, that's
But
awesome.
yeah,
Oh, keep
so
going. If you
self
got some more tips, we have a couple of minutes left. So if you want to tell them something else, go for it before I wrap it up.
okay, self-love is the most important love that you can show. If you can't show yourself love, how can you show somebody else?
There we go. That was well said. Guys, I'm really happy that you joined us today for the first episode. I would like to apologize for the dog wanting to be a part of it as badly as she was. But I encourage you all to come back out next Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and join us again. We'll be airing this episode with different topics targeted to help you out every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern
Yes.
Standard Time. Guys, I would encourage you all to check out, like I did today, tell you already about the Savage Protein Balls Ottawa. If you guys are on your fitness journey or your bodybuilding or whatever the case, I told you guys about the woodsidesoaps.ca, all natural handcrafted soaps. Check that stuff out. But if you're in Montreal and you need a radio station, please check out this radio station, CFQR 600 AM, all day long, but you can catch a Soca sound from 9 to 11 p.m. And guys, if you're interested in the books that I have that are out there right now, well, there they are. These are the books. And you know what?
Mine will be on there soon.
Yes, they will be. Very much so. Very much so. And I wanted to see if I could put something else up there for you, but I don't see it. So look, guys, we wish you all a loving night, and we wish you all to love yourself right.
Exactly.
All right. And if you guys need some help loving yourself right, I encourage you to go to lulu.com bookstore and grab Turning Hell into Heaven, Your Best You, or Wise Up to Rise Up. All right.
I got my copy right here.
And she loved it. Did you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can do self-reflection right here in the back.
All right. So I'm going to have to take us off the live. I love you all. Have a good
Love
night.
you. Bye.